Hey, so we're going to talk about metabolism this week. Just really a quick metabolism 101 so you have a better understanding of what we're trying to do here while we try to get your metabolism a little bit higher while you eat more and train less, right? While we're getting the results that we want to see on the scale and in the mirror. Okay, so we've got our whiteboard out here. You can see this is my virtual whiteboard. Let me know if this makes sense. Give me some feedback. Feel free to call me, text me, shoot me an email. Anything to make sure that you just understand it, because this concept can be a little bit hard for patients and clients to understand and fully grasp, okay? So before we start drawing here, if you do want to take notes, go grab your phone, grab a notebook, a pen, whatever it is you need to take notes on, and we're going to get started. So, in order to understand metabolism a little bit better, we are going to talk about water balloons, okay? And this is not going to make a whole lot of sense to start off, so just follow me. Now, this is water balloon 1, and this is water balloon 2. 1 and 2, okay? Now, water balloon 1 has a tiny hole in it, okay? Water balloon 2 has a big hole in it, okay? Now, what do you fill up water balloons with? Water. So, in water balloon 1, we're going to dump in a lot of water. In water balloon 2, we're going to put in a little bit of water. Now, as we're dumping in a lot of water versus a little water, what do we think the water levels are going to look like in 1 versus 2? Okay, we would expect 1 to have high water levels, right? Because it's not losing a ton as we pour in a lot. Whoops. Let me see. Undo. There we go. Right? It's not losing a ton, whereas water balloon 2 is going to have a low water level and not be so full, right? And it's going to lose quite a bit of water. Okay, and this is our water loss. Now, okay, so what does this have to do with metabolism? In our first situation, we've got water coming into the system. The water coming in represents the energy you're putting into your body, okay? And number 1, we've got a lot. And number 2, we've got a little, okay? We want to be in situation 1, right? We want to be eating a lot of food because that's when we're happy. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be happier eating 2,300 calories a day versus 1,100 calories a day, right? Just there's a lot more fun food you can eat, a lot more freedom you have with your diet and with your level of happiness if you're putting more energy into your system, okay? And we've all experienced that with carb crashes and sugar cravings and sweet cravings and feeling tired and fatigued and needing coffee, right? That's all a result of situation number 2 when we're not able to put a lot of energy into our system, okay? Now, so that's what the water represents, okay? So now let's move on to what the hole represents. Now the hole represents the amount of energy you spend in a day, okay? So we're all going to have a baseline of energy to spend in a day that it takes to maintain our system. So we need a certain amount of energy for brain power, a certain amount of energy for digestion, to, walk up and down the street, to take care of our dog, to, whatever our daily activities are, we have a certain amount of energy we have to expend just to keep our body running, okay? And then there's the added energy we expend through our workouts. In situation 1, we've got a very small hole, so that means we're not working out a ton, okay? Now, in situation 1, that means we're doing things like strength training, muscle building, and those types of processes, right? And we're doing that maybe 4 days a week, 5 days a week. I don't know about you, but I'm very busy. I don't have, 7, 8 hours a week to be training, right? We're not professional athletes. Some of us might think we are, but we're not. So we need to be realistic about the amount of time it's going to take us to reach our goals, okay? So focusing on less taxing activities is going to keep your metabolism in a better spot, okay? And that's represented here. Over in situation number 2, that hole is bigger, okay? So that means we're expending way more energy. So that means more things like cardio, high intensity training, things like that. Now, that's not to say that those things don't have a benefit or don't have a time and a place, but if we're not putting a ton of energy into the system and we're putting a ton of energy out of the system, that ends up producing what? If you look at this water line, a very low metabolic rate. Okay, this number 2 water balloon is not very well filled up. Number 1 is very full. Okay, so we want to be in situation 1. We want to be eating a good amount of food and not spending a lot of time to maintain our bodies, right? That's the ideal situation. That's why we're all here, to make the most of our time and the most of our nutrition and be able to enjoy our food more. Situation number 2 is, again, not a lot of food going in and a lot of energy coming out, leaving us feeling depleted, tired, fatigued, not having energy from our workouts, or feeling excessively sore, things like that. So just note the difference here in the energy systems, okay? Notice what a high metabolic rate looks like, which is situation 1 over here, water balloon 1, and what a low metabolic rate looks like, which is situation number 2, okay? And we're working and switching you from one process to the other, okay? So that is a very slow process, and we want to be patient to make sure we don't produce weight gain, which we will talk a little bit more about next week. So now we'll kind of switch into how do these systems play off of one another to produce weight loss versus weight gain, okay? If that makes sense, let me know. If it doesn't, reach out, ask questions, shoot me a text or an email, give me a call, and we will be talking about this concept a little bit more soon. Thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to share more.